All right, good news, guys. We corrected the direction of the ship. The trades that we made were the correct ones in the end, or at least one of them were. The people that we traded out were correct, that being Satili and that being Cam McInnes. So McInnes, the minutes that he's receiving, unfortunately, isn't serving him enough to make that little bit of money and you're getting to that top tier keeper status. So we're quite happy to move him on. That brought in Terrell May, which we saw yesterday, was the correct decision. I should have started with him, but we corrected it, and that's exactly what we need to be doing on a week-to-week basis. We end up with a template, or what we've got laid in front of us each and every week, and it's all about making the correct decision in that week. So we will review those trades there, and we should do that now. Actually, at the beginning of each one will be a smart one there. So if we're looking at the money making of the two guys I brought in, so Taylor May was plus 9K, right? And then we had Terrell up 51K. So it's a 60K gain on the front end. And then on the other side of it, so Satili went down 4K. All right. And then we had McInnes went down 7K. So plus 60 on one side, neg 11 on the other. It was a 71K gain on the cash, which was really, really cool. And then the points wise, so you had McInnes pick up a 48, I believe, for him there, 48 last week, and then Satili the 31. So that is a 79, a lot of points there. And then I had 34 from May and a 60 from there. So 94 to 79 points. So a 15-point gain and a 71 point improvement in our points output there. So we'll write that down, which would be cool. And then sort of keep hold of that on a week-to-week basis. So that's where we're at for the beginning of this first lot of trades. So 2 down, obviously. So we do have to discount all of that and the potential gains just with the trades that you do make. But obviously over the long term, let's see how those ones play out. And then with everyone looking to grab Terrell this week, that was a good week to do it, obviously there. So the score for me was a 777. So nothing special, that's for sure. There were a few reasons for that, and we'll get to that in a sec. Obviously, no Hosking was sort of the big one, guys, really. No Hosking, Grant kind of underperforming a little bit. And then my dogs, guys, Rapina getting 36 was fine, but not great. And then Taylor May, 34. And Lukey with his injury. But a lot of people own him, obviously. There are a lot that don't, but Lukey, the 9, that hurts for sure. Little bit of a misstep on the Ethan Strange not playing him, but using Salmon as a looper instead of Strange, or just playing Chan over Strange, to 9 points. We'll take off that as well as a little bit of an L in our looping strategy. But I thought Salmon with 50 odd minutes should be able to do a little bit better than that. Wasn't to be, but it is what it is. We move forward on that. But as I say, guys, you got the slate in front of you, and you have to make the necessary changes accordingly. So the other one to go through, guys, is obviously just the easiest way to check out how much money and your players gained and lost over the week is to look at your trade section on your desktop. Is the easiest way to do it. It has a list of all of them and the up and down in their scoring and their price. So the man just clicked on Encotta. Obviously a big week for him. Lost 1K last week, up 30 this week, and he kickstarts his money-making potential, which is exactly what we wanted. Grant down 20 overall. Murray down up 9 overall. So not too bad. Smithy's up 40. So hopefully the minutes don't drop too much for him, because it's a slight worry on that. It's good to know that Ricky has come out and said he will be the 13, but how many minutes will it be? And does Horsburgh affect his 13 minutes playing in the front row? I'd say it would. Apparently he was going to be taken off, but with Seb Chris injury, they kept him on. So things will happen in this game, and Smithies will get minutes extra if something happens in this one, in these games injury-wise. So that's, I suppose, good to note. But I do expect it to be down in the mid-50s to 60 minute mark for Smithies, unless it's a really tight game and they need some surety in the middle. That's where he'll be at. But Murray looks like most likely now it's going to be Hawkins. It's going to be coming in for Ilias at 7. Murray's going to move back to the middle, and Jacob Host likely back on the edge. So that's good news for Murray owners. I think you can breathe a sigh of relief and keep him in your side. Wong, he's someone to note as well there. with his 31K on this one that he's gained in 2 weeks. So 16 for him, the 37. We do hope that he happens to get bigger minutes. Please, Wong, get some bigger minutes. And I understand he'll be on the chopping block for a few people, but 31K in gains in 2 weeks when one of them he had an injury and the second one he had 40 minutes shows that if he happens to get some minutes, right, 55 to 60, he's going to have some boom potential. So he's someone I definitely think you can hold for another week or two to see what happens. At least one anyway. Pico only lost 7K in this one and shows that, that zero is going to be out of his little rolling average, and now the break even is going to come down a little bit. And if he gets 40 every week, he'll start making some good cash soon. So keep him in your sides, guys, and it'll come back on the other side unless he gets another head knock or something. Thank God it didn't happen this week. Cleary, he's our worst money loser at the moment at 52K. So it wasn't the best strategy to kick things off with Cleary. He didn't get that extra try assist, so sad times on that. But do expect him to bounce back and have a bit of a better game either this week or in weeks to come. Hutcho ended up going up 5K, got the extra tackle break. I did send an email about Hutcho, Cleary, and Karaz with Karaz's turnover tackle, Cleary's try assist, Hutcho, an extra tackle break. Both of them were just so blatant. Like, you just ran through, they went and missed him completely. Like, obviously hit him, but just went straight through him. And anyway, he got that tackle break, helps with a couple extra thousand in gains. And he does come up against the Titans this week. So you could look at him as a potential sell, but if he maintains his spot on this side and Serrato sounds like he's not going to go out and change too much, if he does change some things, then we can look at him as a potential sell. But outside of that, he's going to be, I think, a hold this week against the Titans, who got smashed against the Dragons. Taylor May, 636K for him. Obviously, fairly high on the price point. Up 9, 36 in total. I didn't get the 36, but 9 for me. So he's going to be fine. I think longer term, he looked great. Ben Trebojevic up 41K, so 82 for the season. Good stuff from him. Karaz down 24 for the season, so it's not absolutely terrible. But if he goes poorly again, he's going to lose a truck, right? So hopefully, again, against the Titans, this is the week that he can stand up and score well for my side, because that's it at the moment. Just haven't had that massive score in a Hosking or something like that. I had Pap, obviously, but outside of that, my massive scores haven't been there. And this is the week where I do need like a Rapana or a Karaz to come out and get some big tackle break numbers and big run meters and offloads and the like, which just hasn't happened as yet. So Raps is up 19K overall, 9 this week. Not great. I wanted more, but it is what it is against the Tigers especially. It's got the injury thing on his head, but he did come back and play the last few minutes, so he's fine. Pappenhausen, 42K up for him. If you didn't grab hold of him, it's probably hard to grab him this week given the bye the following. So you can do it, but I also think round 5 is completely fine as well. He's up against Newcastle though. Could score well against them. So I'm looking at May. Raps still going to hold on until he's not playing fullback anymore. Hopefully it's not this week, but I don't think it will be. They'll be making any changes to a winning team. Terrell May, 51, as we said. Lukey is a sell this week, guys. Joe Chan up 25, so good price rise from him. Keeney, we'll find out if he's playing this week. If not, he's probably just a looper in my side, which is cool. We'll find out how we want to play this one once we get team lists. And then Salmon up 19, Strange up 33, so finally a big rise from him. And then Levi up 15. So solid, he's going up 27, not the worst start. And then Sam Hughes 19 this week for 27 overall. So as I mentioned in that 5 things we learnt video, is just overall I'm fairly satisfied with my squad now. Obviously Lukey, the only clear guy to trade out. Guys like Wong is on the watch list. Smithy's on the watch list just for minutes, and we do need him. Hopefully, if it's a tighter game, that he'll get more base stats, because at the moment they've been smashing teams. So I think that even with the lesser minutes, a lot more could go through the middle, and he could get some more base just off that. Hutchison's on the watch list as well with Wong, along with Karaz, and then potentially like Rapiner as well. But none of them are clear worries. What I'm looking for in the next few weeks is obviously someone like Lussick could be an option for our hooking position, given Grant will be out in round 4. Pappenhausen going to be out next week as well. So currently sitting with Strange on my bench as cover. So hopefully we get a couple more weeks out of Rapiner, because then Strange could come in. Taylor May would move down into my wing fullback for next week, and we'll be fine. And then if Keeney's not playing, we don't have to worry about that as well, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with my side. We're expecting some better scoring out of obviously Murray than his 52. Grant is 49, like 2 top tier guns that just haven't scored as well as we'd hoped. Cleary as well, the 3 top tier guns not doing it. Carraz well under his current his career average. Rapana a little bit under well under his career average at fullback. And then Hutcho as well. Like you expect him in the mid 30s at least. So most of my guys not kind of performing to their capabilities, and that will turn around eventually if we make the correct trades to get the correct money makers and build up that team value. We'll be able to stick with the pack. I was having a look too. Like we may as well look at the rankings now, but I'm at a 1471, right? You look at number 1 overall, and that's 1776, right? If you look further down the line, so that's what, just over 300 for number 1 overall, right? But that's not where we're shooting for right now. It would be very helpful, but let's just say you look to the private group, and 10th overall, Bev. Shout out to Bev. He's at 1606, right? Which is 130 points above me, and that's at an overall rank of 1500. So 130 points is 40,000 rankings right now. So just to give you a little bit of context on that, shout out to Ash, who's absolutely crushed it this week, a 968, ending up finishing in 36 overall. So we're all behind Ash. He has a really, really strong side, in my opinion. Very, very well balanced. Had Elliott, had Hosking, obviously, in that one with Cotter as well. And even the emergencies there with Levi Bostock, Hughes, Keeney playing Salmon. Really just Mariner's probably the only odd duck that, like looks really good out there, but just points-wise hasn't obviously crushed it yet. 37 you're pretty happy with. But yeah, everyone else in the starting side, starting with Robson, Cleary as captain, a little bit underwhelming. Same with Murray in that one. And then even Turbo not performing to his peak in that game. This is a really nice side, a really nice setup, and we're hoping and praying for Ash to have an awesome year. And shout out to Soijang as well, and Keaton in the top 3 in our group. But little obviously visual shout out to all those guys in that private group. So I don't have a lot of money in the bank, but Lukey allows me some room to move. I'm potentially looking at Galvin, and you got Kulak FF Finefuyaki as well, who's a potential option. And unfortunately, my brother beat me in the JBFA fan crew. Shout outs to Ish, who got 825, and then Scoop, who just is 6 points ahead of me now. After tying last week, he beat me by 6 this week, which is pretty funny how close we've been across those two. And then shout out to Lockie, who smashed me at 859. I didn't win. Bloody Pierce in the end beat me by 3. Our mod in the Discord crew. Battle of Podcast, guys, 16th overall in this one, and probably this is an easy one to look at it. So Adrian's up top, 3,476, having Hopgood, Cotter. Sorry, not Cotter. Yes, Cotter. Elliott, Latrell. So good overall on that sense, for sure. No, Harry Grant the like, but yeah, an 865 beating out a lot of people, but ends up in first. But again, that's at 1582. Compared to myself at 1471, is only 111 points between me at 16th in the podcasters crew, and being first. So it's absolutely tiny. And as I say, guys, this just outdoes where I was at last year as well. I was 35,000 overall, and I'm 41,000 overall now. And I just want to jump in here. We got Ashley is number first, Stefan number 3 in the JBFA community as well, which is really cool. So any other leagues to shout out? I think that'll do us for now. But yeah, some good scores in the Podcasters League. Lots in the 800s up top, obviously. 780 for Lucy, who was winning as of last week. And then, all of us down there sort of in the high 700s to 800s there. There's a few guys that have fallen a bit behind already in the 1300s, unfortunately. With those last couple of guys, but overall everyone's pretty close and should be fine heading into next week. And we will move to my head-to-head team now, which I decided to go a little bit against the grain and give Satili another opportunity, and brought in Wong as well. So we'll go through that now. So it's a little bit sad in the head-to-head team, even though performed better than my team here. So it was a nice score in the squad at 824, but the trades that I made in this ended up serving me less than what I would have hoped, unfortunately. So last second I decided I'm just going to remove Flanagan because I did trade in Fogarty, and I went Flanagan to Wong, and I thought that leaving a bit of cash in the bank could be cool for this week, and looks like instead of getting Terrell, like going Satilli to Terrell, I'm going to have to do it anyway at a bit more of a cost this week. So sometimes waiting and watching doesn't pay out, sometimes it does, and this one wasn't to be. Thankfully, Wong made some money, but in this week it could be pretty funny if I do end up going Wong and now Satilli to Terrell May, and like a Galvin could be the play this week, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, thankfully overall, I'm sitting in a good spot. So I scored 824 after the good one last week of 751, end up at an overall rank of 4,358. The good news with this, guys, is we actually get to see, with the two teams I've got, my overall team and then the head-to-head squad, is how you can manage two squads at two different ends of the spectrum. So 41,000 for myself, 4,300 there for this squad. You'll see how I manage this one in a good position and how I manage my one in a pretty average position. They're going to be a little bit different, and I think that's going to be really cool from a content perspective to show you guys that if you're in my position at 41, or if you're in a better position here at 4,300, what you can do to do really, really well. So didn't work out as well this Roosters game for my team here, for this team here, compared to my overall squad, just because we had Wong and Satilli both scoring underwhelmingly, and then we had Brandon Smith at the 39, so it wasn't a top tier effort from him, minutes wise obviously, and then you had Tom Trbojevic there, Turbo, with the 45. So I didn't have any of those players except for Wong, and then had Terrell in my team there. So that was kind of the only game that kind of saved me compared to the pack. Every other game seemed to hurt me and dig in a little bit, that's for sure. But yes, I did trade out Adam Elliott for Fogarty, so that was sad. And then obviously Flanagan to Wong, I did net some extra points on that and some cash rises, which Flanagan's not going to get, so 12 extra points from that one, but I lost out on 29 points from the Tupanua to May trade. So down a few. So what was it? Up 12, down 29. So yeah, down 17 on the points front, and I definitely didn't win on the cash generation front either. So I wanted to give those Tupanua a chance, especially at his price point, because if he can get to a 40s to 43 type of range, then he's got 100K, 150K to make. And my theory was, if it didn't work out this week, that I could use that cash that I left over to downgrade one of my mid-ranges to a Galvin or something like that. Hutcho or something was the general thought, and then I could upgrade Satilli to Terrell May next week, and that's probably how it's going to have to go. Either Hutcho down, or Wong and Tupanua out in that scenario. In this squad, we fixed our half position, although probably going to be getting Galvin anyway. I found out how well Galvin actually went after the Fogarty trade. Obviously, we're still sitting there with a lack of hooker cover, but at the moment, like, Brandon Smith is healthy, which is great. We can deal with that when it comes up, in my opinion. Terrell May, I think, is definitely the main option heading into this week, and it's probably where we are going to have to go in this squad, and then have to go down to Chibi. I do have cover in our centers, which is nice. Wing fullback as well if Keeney does play. And yeah, we just have to follow on from next week. We're not sure if Chan's actually going to be back in round 4, or if it's going to be round 5 or something like that. So Tuapiki might end up getting another week in the squad. Hosking, we need to find out what's happening with him. With Whitehead this week, it sounds like both Whitehead and Horsburgh are going to be back, with Seb Chris missing this one to the HIA protocols. We also have to keep note of the Payne Haas situation, guys, given he unfortunately is succumbed to a potential knee injury, which he played through on the weekend for his 54. And I suppose that's probably the other thing to know, guys. His 54, similar to that of Murray's 52. So paying that extra 100 didn't work out this week, although it did work out last week. Sully's 29 wasn't incredible, but the Dragons were shocking at that. So for him to still score 29 is good news. But overall, you're not looking at two cracking hot scores. A 31 average for him. He's not losing any cash, and we'll show you where the cash generation situation is right now. So team started at 10 million. I didn't actually note that in my team. I'll go back and look at it. But obviously, this team's going much better, so has gained just over 400K at the moment in a couple of weeks of action, which is nice. So Smith's up 18K, Tupanua's down 13, Haas is up 17, Cotter up 30, Pikura down 40. Hosking up 113. Wow, that really hurts. Hurts to watch. He's made up for Cleary, that's for sure, and he's 52, more than double that. Hutcho, 12k up. Benchaboyevich, 82. Sully down 2k overall. Tuapiki up 43 is good. Pap up 25. Turbo up 14. Fogs up 36, but I gained 23 with him this week. Lukey down 6 overall. Wong up 16 for me. Keeney down 2, Salmon up 29, Chan up 34, Hughes up 27, and Strange up 37. So overall, a pretty good position. As I said, it might just be a little bit of a cleanup on all 3 for Roosters at the moment, and add one in with the good minutes and take the couple out with the poor minutes, or we'll look at Hutcho if he keeps his spot in the side or not. These are all things we have to think of. In terms of my head-to-head leagues, guys, I basically won all of them again, except for Smorgasbord. Beat me 840. Nice effort there. But yeah, got through all of them unscathed and got some more wins, and either sitting first, second, fifth in one of them with a points differential in the sweat lobby. 19th overall in the private group, 304th as a Cowboys fan, which is fun. But yeah, so getting 2 good head-to-head wins at the start of the season, very, very helpful to be able to, I suppose, like save some trades and not stress too much over the buy period, and like lots of things become very, very helpful when you do start very well. So that's where we're at with the head-to-head squad, in a great position overall, which means that we are making money, we're scoring well, things are in a good position. But it could have been a lot higher if I made the Terrell move, but yeah, we live, we learn. And yeah, obviously didn't want to go completely all in as well. And selling Tupanua in mine, I didn't want him to come out and score a try and go nuts. He did set up one, but he still didn't score well. So that's the head-to-head squad for now, guys. Let me know your thoughts on your teams, what you do maybe in mine. If you want to provide any opinion on that, always happy to listen. How you went for the week as well. Give me a score, and if you've stayed all the way to the end, you're an absolute legend. Let me know there by telling me your score and what you had for lunch today. There you go. That's how I know you've come to the end of this video. So thanks again. We'll catch you in the next video.